Rain or shine, it's here to make you laugh. It's the Steamboat Comedy Podcast. It's the Steamboat Comedy Podcast. And now your host, Kyle Ruff.
Because we need more apps.
More apps.
Soon we'll all be apps, Matthew.
I want 50 more apps on my phone.
You have 50 more apps?
I want 50 more apps on my phone.
Just any generic app?
Yeah.
Nice.
I wake up most mornings going, I don't have enough apps on my phone. Hopefully I can enter my fucking email and create a password into another app today.
Yes. And that new app will have a premium mode that you can pay for to unlock new features that you didn't know you needed.
Oh, dude, I had to download an authenticator on my phone for work.
Yep.
So I could authenticate getting onto a website, onto a computer.
Yep.
So I needed an app on my phone to prove that I'm myself.
So then you can use an app on a computer.
Yeah. And the phone app gives me a code that I enter into the computer app so I can log in to something I didn't want to fucking do.
Right.
I wanted to put a bullet in my head, dude. It took me like an hour and a half. I felt like I was 90 years old. I was like, I already created a password for it. Why won't it log me in?
Well, you need your authenticator.
But then I got to have a password for the authenticator.
Yep. Which is the same password you probably used in the first place. So it's just redundant.
Just more apps. Just another day of putting my email into an app.
It's just more shit to be like, you think you can get rid of your smartphone? You can't. You need this to exist now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're a slave to it.
You're a slave to it.
For life.
Welcome to the Steamboat Comedy Podcast, everybody.
That's a good open right there, buddy.
Little rant.
You ready for the best fucking podcast you've ever heard in your life?
Best podcast of your life.
This is going to be the best podcast of anyone's life.
Anyone, that you've ever listened to, and you're welcome in advance. But yes, it's the Steamboat Comedy Podcast. I'm Kyle Ruff, joined by Matt Newland.
Check it out. How's it going? All day, all night.
We're doing it all day, all night.
I've been doing that bit for 2 years on this podcast.
Yes.
The Joe Rogan, all day, all night.
All day.
All night.
All night.
Just fuck it up a little bit. All day and all night. Check it out. All the time.
That's why the people keep coming back for the classic Joe Rogan ripoff bits.
For the running Joe Rogan ripoff bits,
Exactly.
dude. I'll never stop doing it until I die.
That's what we do. Yeah, it's been fun. We're getting things kicked off. It's feeling like summer finally.
It's starting to feel like summer, and the
Starting to feel
weather
like
is
summer.
nice outside. And
Weather
it was
is
hotter
nice.
than 2 potatoes banging yesterday.
Yeah,
dude.
well, yesterday was a shit show for the town.
And for who else?
And for me specifically, but
and for Kyle Ruff.
it's somewhat comforting being told that I wasn't the only one who was a shit show yesterday.
Yeah, there's a strength in unison in numbers.
Yeah. Yes. I wasn't the only one who fell off his bike because he was too hammered. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're out at Riverfest, friend of the show. If you don't know Riverfest, it's where all the river freak people have the time of their life.
It's the Super Bowl for river rats.
It's the Super Bowl for river rats. This is a big river town, Matthew.
Oh my god, it's fucking unbearable, dude.
Yeah.
They're the worst goddamn people I've ever fucking seen in my life, dude.
I wouldn't go that far. It's just weird to
I
me.
did. I went that far.
You went that far.
Dude, I hate them.
Some people love like kayaking and rafting and paddleboarding. They love it so goddamn much.
Well, it's their whole identity.
It's like their
dude.
whole life.
It's their whole personality. They latch onto something that they think is cool.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I like doing that. I'm going to make my whole life about that.
Right.
And then they start doing that thing.
Yeah.
And it's not as cool as they think.
No.
And they can tell other people are like, you're kind of a fucking loser. And then that pisses them off.
Uh-huh.
They're like, oh, well, this is my whole life, and it's kind of stupid.
Right.
So now I'm going to kind of be a dick to everybody else.
Ah, I see. You
And
think
that's
it's a little
where-
insecurity.
That's where the river rat persona comes in that we all know and hate.
Yeah.
They're the fucking... I didn't know we were going to get into it right off the bat. Let's do it. Let's talk about river people.
Well, I was
dude.
just going to bring up what a fucking drunk piece of shit I am, but we can also just
Oh, we're
talk
all
about-
pieces of shit.
We're all pieces
But
of shit.
we're not as bad as river rat fucking scum trolls, dude. Scum trolls.
Again, I'm not... For the river rat friends out there, this is all Matt's take, even though you are kind of weird and annoying.
Just shut the fuck up every
Dude,
now and
it's
then.
just I just don't get. It's like, yeah, it's fine. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, it's good. The river is fun.
The river's fun.
It's fun. It's a good time. I'm not
Yeah.
going to do it every single fucking day
Every
before
day.
and after work.
Well, what drives me nuts, dude, is So last year I emceed that thing.
Oh,
I was there all day on the microphone, and it
Can't
drove me nuts. And they were using my PA because theirs wouldn't work. And because of that, I couldn't leave because I couldn't just leave my PA there.
no.
So I'd be there the whole time. And all it was like a bunch of people, like just some random dudes, like, oh, this is Gnarly Steve. Gnarly Steve's got the microphone. He's like, oh man, that's Jim Ballsack out on the kayak right now. Man, he's a local legend.
He's
and they were all,
legend.
He's been on this year for like 40 years. Everybody, he's been on this river, and he's just an absolute walking legend in the rafting community. And I was just like, dude, you guys are all just jacking each other off.
Oh,
man.
it's their Super Bowl. It's a
It's
big
their
jack off
Super
day.
Bowl. Big
No one's
jack-off
faster
fest.
on Fish Creek Falls than this guy. He hasn't lost a Fish Creek Falls race in 40 years. It's like, shut up. I didn't even know that was a race.
Yeah, like who cares?
And this guy, you should see the way he back paddles through A-hole, dude.
Yeah, whoa.
Yeah, he's the only guy in town that's ever nog-fogged at 480 on fucking tryptamine, dude. And they're all just drug addicts
Yeah, they're just a
with
bunch of
no
old
personal lives.
fucking like wannabe Narbros that like grew up in her 40.
I went there yesterday. It was Riverfest yesterday, which is why we're talking about this.
Yeah.
I went there yesterday as like an anthropologist.
Yes.
I wanted
to
to
observe.
I wanted to study these people.
Yeah.
And I did notice that like they're all like kind of normal looking, your typical ski town looking people,
Yeah.
but they all have like one thing that they do differently.
Like what?
Like a lot of little mullets. A
Little
lot of
mullets.
the dudes have a lot of little mullets.
Interesting.
The shaved side of that, and a lot of the women river rats, we call them whores. A lot of them a lot of them have like a little pink in their hair, a little
Yeah.
purple. It's something with the hair, and they do it a little differently.
Yeah.
A lot of hand tattoos.
Yeah. It's like a way to like I'm like slightly extreme.
I wonder
Like I want to be Travis Pastrana, but like not actually do something that's really cool.
yeah, a lot of
you
leg
know?
hair on both parties.
True.
On
yeah.
all the parties.
They're gnarly chicks, dude. They're like, I don't care about shaving my legs. I'm not pretty. I'm
No,
a
dude,
river
it's
rat."
actually better when you get in the river if you have hair on your legs because the dimensional fortitude of the current. It's like you're not a scientist.
Right.
You're fucking drinking
Yeah.
14 beers and floating on the river.
And like the gear and shit. And
the
I was-
gear.
I was telling you, I went rafting with my ex-girlfriend, not really a friend of the show. Former friend of the show.
Ex-friend of the show.
Ex-friend of the show. And that's just what I'm calling all my exes now. Ex-friend of the show. And
Welcome to the fucking show.
welcome to the fucking X show. And I went out rafting with like her and like these like raft kids that she knew.
Yeah.
I didn't know them. And like we all got along well and stuff, but they were just like weirdly anal about dumb shit. Like now, if you haven't heard, it's no longer called a life jacket. It's now called a personal flotation device, also known as a PFD.
A PFD, because
PFD.
life jacket was such a fucking hard thing to say.
Yeah. Or
Was-
it's like, well, it can't necessarily save your life. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, it was
Neither
such,
can the candy. Do we have to change the name?
was that a problem? Was it
Apparently.
ever like
I don't know that. I'd have to look up the story behind why that changed. But like, I called it a life jacket in front of this guy, and he like snapped and like corrected it. It's a PFD. I was like, shut up.
Shut up, you tiny dick river bitch.
Yeah. I didn't say that, but that's what I meant.
I heard the acronym PFD 40,000 times
PFD, yeah.
yesterday, dude.
Oh, then
They love PFDs.
do you remember that those kids went down like through the rapid there, through the sea hole they call it there.
They call
that's
it the
where
sea
that's
hole
where everyone
because-
posts up for Riverfest is the sea hole. And these kids went through it without a PFD on.
Or a life jacket. if
Or a
you're
life jacket either. And the guy behind us started fucking freaking out.
bitching, moaning,
He was like,
complaining.
boo, boo, that's not safe. And I'm
Put
like,
a PFD on. Get a like. Do you know these kids, man?
yeah, they're fine.
But-
And you know what they did? They just swam through it and then swam to the shore because it was fine.
He was just looking for his moment because it's their Super Bowl.
Right.
For his moment to be like, PFDs are awesome and I love them and everyone should have a PFD.
And I'm the most safe and responsible on the
And I-
water.
yeah.
Do you know how many of my friends I've seen drown?
That's all.
Yeah.
All of everyone they've ever known is dead. That's the other thing you've noticed about river rats is
Yeah.
everyone they've ever known is dead, which
Is
is
dead.
why they're such rule sticklers.
Yeah.
Just about don't and they're like
it's not a joke. It gets gnarly out here.
it's fucking and they love it and they hate it at the same time. Like they love the river, but you can tell they hate their lives. Like they do. They're like, don't like if you ever like I'm kind of interested in getting into some river sports. They're like, "No, don't do it, dude. It's fucking It's not worth it, dude. I've seen everyone I've ever known die, so don't get into it. It's tough. I mean, I love it, and I'm on here 18 hours a day,
Yeah.
and it's
But
my
I had to
whole
watch
life.
my best pal Squirrely Steve drown last fall, and it
Yeah,
was the hardest thing that's ever happened. I still raft every day in his memory and his
Yeah,
honor.
and that's why I'm such a stickler about life jackets. Fuck PFDs. PFDs. Did anyone say that?
Anyone hear that?
Anyone hear me
I
say
also
that?
got the one kid freaked out on me on that trip because I peed on the side on the shore. I got on the boat. And I was like, I gotta pee, and so I like walked into the woods and pissed. And I came back, and he's like, "Don't do that again." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "You should pee in the water." And I was like, "Okay." He was like,
Did he
"People."
have a reason?
Yeah, well, his reasoning was that
That he's an
apparently they're
idiot,
just
dude? He's a rule stickler.
so
because-
many thousands of people just spray piss all over the shore that it's killing the environment.
Oh, the old piss epidemic of '89.
Yeah,
I remember
like,
that
what
summer.
are you fucking talking about, dude? Like, do you know how many people in the world have peed in this exact spot before? Probably none, because the Earth is vast and this river is vast, and I'm one man who made one splotch of piss. Like, it's gonna be fine.
Are you not following the rules?
Yeah.
You see my little mullet?
You see my little tiny mullet? I have a strand of pink in my hair, and that makes me an authority on the river.
Once I get blacked out drunk tonight later, I'm gonna get another hand tattoo, and it's gonna say PFD on it. All right, on all four of my knuckles, it's gonna say PFD because they're all stupid and they can't read too. They can't read very well, which is why they love the river.
Yeah, and also
They're- keep going.
Oh,
Go,
I was
go
just
ahead.
saying. Also, everyone was just hammered yesterday.
They're trash people.
They're trashed. They get on these fancy $3,000 boats, and then they're just like shotgun and PBRs left and right and shit.
But God forbid you put your can down for 1 second on a rock next to the river, and they will
Oh.
stab you in the stomach with a
Yeah,
knife, dude.
litter is like the worst. You could actively be on ketamine while you're going down the river, but as long as you got your PFD on and you're not littering,
You're not pissing.
and you're not pissing on the shore, then everything is fine. Then everything is right in the world.
Oh,
It's unreal. But yeah, it was. I mean, we saw it. Well, there's also a huge crowd comes out of it. It's just kind of like a thing that everyone does. I mean, we were there.
we
out
were
and
there.
about.
We're supporting.
We're there for the community. and
I'm
our
talking
fans.
a lot of shit on it, but I was there and I was supporting, and I
And
was
it's fun.
I had a good time.
I mean,
it
it's
was
like
hotter
NASCAR,
than
though.
tits out there.
Oh,
dude.
it was so hot.
God damn.
I was gonna say it's like NASCAR. You just go there to watch people fall and
Yeah.
crash and stuff. But yeah, it was. Everyone was just. They were just like. IPAs were just flowing everywhere,
Yeah.
and it was 95 fucking degrees out without a cloud in the sky.
They had like
So it was-
one water cooler.
Yeah, so everyone was just getting roasted out there, and by the end of it, everyone was fucking shit hammered.
Yeah. dude.
Everyone was fucking shit hammered by like 4:30. I ran into one of my friends. I won't say her name, but she was fucking tanked. At one point, she was like, "Hold my beer," and she like grabbed something, and then she took the beer back from me and then threw it on the ground, like dumped out this cup, and then goes, "Here's your cup back." And I said, "That was yours." And she's like, "This is mine?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Oh." And I was like, "How fucking hammered?" are
Yeah,
you
she's like,
right
I'm
now?"
about to do another lap, the town lap, by the way.
Yeah,
so
by
it's
the way, I'm
fine.
gonna go get my PFD on and go.
Oh my God, they call it a town lap. That's the river that runs through Steamboat here. If you want to get your boat on the river and go from one spot through Steamboat, it's called a town
A
lap
town lap.
because that sounds cool, and it's
Yeah,
definitely not
Because you can't just say just going down
going on the river.
Yeah.
Doing a town lap.
Do a
And
quick
if,
town lap.
and if you do town laps, you're honestly a pussy, dude. You're a pussy because you got to get some bigger rapids than that.
Yeah, right.
They all like pride themselves on being able to read the river, and I think the reason they have so much pride on being able to read the river
Because they can't read.
because they can't read in real life.
Right.
And
You
it's
gotta
like,
read something.
dude, 4-year-olds can read the fucking river. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, which way is the water flowing?
It's going that way.
You're gonna want to come in on the high point up here because the water's gonna crevasse you down to the left, and if you come in sideways over there, tits up, dude.
Tits up, dude.
Tits up, dude. Good luck. Better have your PFD on.
Better not fucking litter.
And if you piss on the side of this river, by God help me.
We're gonna crucify you.
Yeah, dude, I will drown you in the river.
Yeah, and the river here is like not big. It's not complicated. Like read the river. Like dude, this thing is 20 feet wide, bro. Like what are you talking about?
A lot of people have died in the river, though.
Yeah.
All right, that was a good podcast, buddy.
Yeah. Shout out to Squirrely Steve up in heaven.
Really Dan Steve-O's, dude.
Yeah, man. But no, I was one of those people who got absolutely shit-housed yesterday.
Yeah.
On accident.
You fell over on your bike, and then what happened?
Oh, this is a new feature of my Apple Watch that I didn't know about. Is last night I took my bike home from the bar because I'm responsible and don't
Very
drink and drive, kids. Which I didn't remember most of the end of the night until I was reminded this morning by you and our roommate who happened to be the bartender who overserved me. And yeah, I made it all the way home somehow.
Yeah.
I'm a 36-year-old man. I made it all the way home and then stopped the bike and then fell over onto the ground. And my watch popped up and said, "Did you just crash your bike? Should I call 911?"
God, no, please
And
don't
I was
call
like,
the
"Well,
cops.
yeah, no, don't get cops involved in this. Let me just crawl inside like an adult man with shame."
That's hilarious. Your watch should also, that's the next revolution of these watches, is it should know how drunk you are.
Oh, yeah.
It
A
should-
BAC.
It should have a BAC right in it.
Just measures your sweat. And it's like,
Yeah.
dude, you're hammered.
You should not be out right
Yeah.
now. Go home.
Yeah, just I need that function on my watch. Just, Kyle, go the fuck home. What's wrong with you?
No, we should get more into river sports, dude.
Should we?
Yeah.
Well, we just got invited to go paddleboarding today,
Oh, yeah.
and I said no.
That's like the fucking river sports
It's
little
like the
cousin,
little,
dude.
Yeah, that's like being like, "Oh, I'm going to the skate park, but I have a scooter."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Everyone's making fun of you.
Everyone's making fun of you behind your back.
People love the paddleboard in this town, too. It's a big paddleboard in town.
Well, they like extreme paddleboard. Like I paddleboard where you're just kind of like bumming around and you're like, "Yeah, it's all right." You
Yeah,
know?
they're racing on paddleboards.
They're going through rapids on
Like, how
paddleboards.
fucking bored is everybody, dude? How bored is every single person on planet Earth
Yeah.
that we're like, let's do paddleboard races?
Yeah.
And they're like, have to go around the buoys and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, they're like, whoa. The whole time they're like, whoa. They're like, move. And then everyone's like, whoa, is he going to fall? And then they fall and then they just get back up.
How do you feel about? I just found out they're going to do paddleboard yoga at the hot springs here.
I've heard of this.
Are you as an avid yogi yourself?
I am an avid yogi.
How do you feel about the idea of paddleboard yoga?
Dude, whatever. It's the same thing.
Just do it on land.
It's
That's
like I have a very strict rule when it comes to yoga. I don't do it on water, and I don't do it with animals. Like I'm not in.
you're not into goat yoga.
I have a strict rule of my life. It's like I don't do yoga with animals.
No.
I draw a hard line.
Hard line.
I'm like, let's go do puppy yoga. I'm like, absolutely not.
Is that a thing?
I keep my puppies and my yoga very separate.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a thing for sure.
Where do they get? Where's the supply?
Dude, if
of
you go to
puppies?
Boulder, there's more puppy yoga studios than there are regular yoga studios.
Do they just euthanize the puppies when they get too old?
Yeah, and then they let homeless people sleep in there. Because it's
Sounds
good.
like Boulder. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good for the Boulder environment.
That's gonna be the next one. Is just homeless yoga. It's just yoga just under a bridge
Yeah.
while you're on heroin.
Well, yeah, homeless people are stealing your wallet.
Yeah.
That's the next evolution. Homeless yoga.
And then and in Boulder they'd be like, "Excuse me, unhoused yoga."
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, paddleboard yoga could be
Could be
pretty
fun. I guess the idea is just harder to balance,
much harder to balance.
Right, 'cause
and
you're on
you
the
could
water.
get wet,
and you could get wet.
and nobody wants to get wet when they're doing yoga.
I do sometimes.
Ooh la la.
Yeah. So that was a hell of a day yesterday.
It
was good to
was.
see the fans. Had a lot of people coming up and being like, "Hey, we
dude.
love you." And
We're like,
dapping
no
us up.
pictures, please. Stop
Please.
taking pictures of us.
The
When we're
paparazzi.
out, don't take pictures of us without our consent. God, dude.
Is it that much to ask? We're just people.
And
like
we
you.
will do autographs. We will, but only for like 10 or 15 minutes because we want to try to enjoy our day.
Right. The
And
paparazzi here.
I feel bad about talking a lot of shit about river people because I have friends in the river, and I love them. But this is a comedy podcast, so we like to talk shit.
Yeah, we're just talking shit.
We're talking
I did
shit.
see someone on the on our YouTube page. I put out the clip where we were giving shout outs to our boy JC up in heaven
Yeah.
last time, and he said something like, "Don't mock God, better beware, bro," or something like that. Like God is gonna seek vengeance on us.
Jesus Christ,
'Cause-
it's a comedy podcast,
Yeah.
you fucking schmuck.
So we didn't even say we were giving mad props to JC
The
and
whole-
Johnny Chicago.
Yeah, the whole podcast, I feel like last time was us being like, dude, Jesus had some good ideas.
Right?
For sure.
Good dude.
Awesome dude.
Awesome dude.
Big swinging dick.
Yeah, huge dick. The
Huge.
nicest dick.
Huge hog on the guy.
It's got to be made of gold.
I could think about it all day. I love it.
Yeah, that's why I don't read the comments anymore.
No, I don't.
Can't do it.
You
won't do
showed
it.
me one of our clips the other day and there was like 3 comments underneath it, and I was like, oh, there's 3 comments of people talking shit, and we didn't even look.
Yeah, then you're like,
fuck no, why?
Yeah.
Don't want that in my head.
I mean, please do comment because it gives us more engagement, but also we're not going to read it.
Not gonna read it, and just be nice. Jesus
Yeah, be nice to
Christ,
each other.
dude.
The amount of people who were arguing with each other over the orca and the shark clip that we had
That's insanity.
blows my mind.
That's you know what I like that post got traction.
Yeah.
is because it was like a genuine question, something I really thought about, like for my own personal, like I'm scared of whales.
Really?
Oh, always,
More than sharks,
always
though?
have been, always will be, dude. I don't know. Whales are so smart,
They are
and
smart.
they can do like math and shit, and they have echolocation. They're like big bat mammals. And they're very scary. Yeah, dude. They're very scary. Are bats mammals?
Yeah.
Irregardless.
Irregardless.
Dude, not to be regarded.
Yes, but to be irregarded.
I like that got traction because I think about that. Like, what
haunts
would
you.
I rather fucking be in a tank with?
I thought about that for 1 second.
Yeah.
I said not the shark.
Not the shark. Yeah, I know. It's okay, dude. But just be nice. Jesus,
Yeah.
dude. We're just fucking human beings, man.
Everybody love everybody, you know?
Act from kindness and love and joy. It's not that hard to be a good person. You pieces of shit river rats.
Fucking river rats.
Kyle, I want to hear the story about your first touchdown ever scored.
Oh, okay.
Take a hard left turn
I
here.
forgot. No, I haven't. I don't think I've ever told you the story. This was
I haven't.
This was actually a request from friend of the show, Mr. Jacob Brown. Shout out, friend of the show.
Jacob.
I saw him when I was back home, and he was like, "Dude, how come you never tell?" Because we played football together.
Yeah,
He was my center. I was the running back
yeah.
on our all-star JV team.
A relationship that no one can ever know unless they were a center or a running back.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a quarterback for a while before that, so I felt his butt crack.
You got up and personal in that.
Mhm.
Yep.
It's a unique thing you don't think about when you play quarterback. You got to really get in there.
You're touching his balls.
It's like you're basically like on the gooch.
Yeah.
Like you're past the butthole, because if you're not past the butthole, you're not in far enough.
No.
And you don't want to go too far to the balls, because then if he snaps up, he might hit his own balls. So
Yeah.
it's like it's a tricky dance we play.
It's right in the taint.
Right in the taint.
Right in that sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
Love the taint.
But anyway, so it was
Perineum.
so yes, the perineum.
That's what they call that.
It was so sophomore year, right? We're on the JV team.
Yes.
Okay. This is my first year being like the first string running back, okay? Because I was second string when I was a freshman, right? As things go.
Yep.
And it was like the second or third game of the season. We ran this stupid bullshit offense, the trap sweep offense.
So stupid.
The more I get older, the more I think about like our high school football team. Like, dude, our football coaches were a bunch of dipshits, and our playbook was so simple. And anyways, shout out to my coaches, who I hate.
Shaped you into the man you are today, though,
Exactly,
buddy.
that is
you know?
true. Taught me some character. But so I get like basically I run like a reverse, right? That
Yeah.
was like our little trick plays. We'd run sweeps and like, whoa, it's a reverse sweep. And I buzz this out, and it's like a 50-yard, like we're midfield, and I bust through, and the whole stupid other team didn't see it coming. So I'm like wide open. There's no one around me, and I get really excited, and I'm running, and I like unconsciously I hold the ball up above my head, and I'm like high stepping it in.
Nice.
And I'm like, oh! And I get to the end zone, and I fucking spike the football, and immediately my joy turns to ash, because I just hear, Ruff, like my one coach. It's like, what are you fucking doing? And I turn around, and I just see a flag go up in the air.
Oh,
For
unsportsmanlike?
unsportsmanlike conduct.
Excessive celebration?
Yeah. And I was like, oh no. I fucked up so hard.
Yeah, you threw salt in your
Mhm.
in your joyous moment.
Yeah, I went from so happy to just like, I'm a fucking dumbass, like so quick.
Yeah.
And I caught so much shit about it
You probably had to run the next week.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I had bear crawls and shit for sure.
Yeah.
But it was funny because I ended up scoring 3 times that game. And the second time, it was just like a little sweep into the end zone. And I just like got right into the corner of the end zone, and I took the ball and I just put it on the ground, and I just ran away
Yeah.
because I was scared.
For sure. You
Scared
Barry
to-
Sanders it. That's what
Yeah,
Barry
Barry Sanders it.
Nice.
But it wasn't because I was humble. It was because I was afraid of getting a flag
Yeah, God forbid a 14-year-old boy enjoy himself while he scores a touchdown.
Yeah,
dude.
right?
These
Yeah.
fucking
You gotta teach him a lesson.
32-year-old men. You motherfucking piece of shit! How dare you?
How unclassy of
How
you!
dare
This is
you
a
have fucking fun. That was a big thing when I was in high school too. Like if you celebrated too much, the coaches. I had a coach get kicked off my fucking JV team.
Yeah.
I'm just remembering this.
Yeah.
Because one of our linebackers made like a 5-yard sack, and he like did the flex over the guy, and my JV defensive coordinator, can't remember his name, he got fired after doing this, ran onto the field, slapped the kid in the helmet, and goes, "What are you doing? Don't do that," and then dragged him off the field, and then the next week he was no longer our JV defensive coordinator.
That's a freak out.
Yeah, he freaked out. He was not a cool guy.
That was. I don't know if high school football is like that anymore because the NFL is like laxed on.
Yeah, he like hit him on the
celebrations.
head.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Just hit
Screaming
him.
his name too. I wasn't gonna say his name, but
Yeah, don't
no, I would screaming his name, hit him on the head, and then dragged him off. And everyone in the stands and all the parents
And it
were
was
like,
"Whoa,
"Jesus, buddy."
Like, yeah, maybe that wasn't the coolest move, but fucking relax.
Yeah, this
guy.
doesn't feel like it's about football anymore.
Yeah,
This is
my
about
fucking wife is cheating on me.
yeah, dude, it was brutal. We used to have to do like if we got a late hit or a unsportsmanlike, we would have to do we called it judge the next week in practice, where you take your shoulder pads off after practice, and then you lay down on the 50-yard line. You lay down, and then you roll to the end zone, and then you roll back, and then you throw up because you're so goddamn dizzy. And that was our punishment.
What the fuck?
Yeah, our coaches. Yeah, we made it to state, dude. We were hardcore motherfuckers. But yeah,
You gotta roll over your pads.
no, we took the shoulder pads off to make the rolling
I
easier.
gotcha.
But you would, I would just get sick and then throw up from being too dizzy. They might as well have put me in an office chair and just spun me around a bunch.
Yeah, that's
be
not
like,
even like
This
like,
is what you get for doing a late hit,
right.
and then just making me puke. But that was playing football in 2010,
Yeah.
dude.
Shit was real.
Shit was real back
No,
then.
we just had to do bear
was-
crawls, man.
We had to do some
A lot of
crawls.
bear crawls. At least bear crawls was like exercise, not just rolling.
Rolling, called it judge, and it was like you're
Judge.
just gonna throw up.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like abuse.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Our high school football coaches were fucking assholes, dude. They were the biggest. I'll never forget. And it was kind of funny, but the one coach I had was he was our gym coach, our gym teacher, excuse me, and he was the head coach there forever. And he got like second in state one time, and everyone sucked his dick like he was amazing. Again, trap sweep offense. Anyways, there was one time he was all mad about something because I think we were just dicking around, and he was like, "You guys have 10 seconds to get over there, or everyone's running." And he just goes, 1, 2, 10, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, dude.
And we're all like,
Like, Jesus, again, this doesn't feel like it's about football anymore.
no, it's about these guys trying to be hard asses, man.
Yeah.
It was so fucking gay.
Just so self-involved.
yeah.
We would have to do 100-yard sprints if we cussed, if we said the F word at one point because we were cussing so much
Really?
during practice.
Oh, our coaches swore like fucking sailors.
Yeah,
did.
no, these guys were complete pieces of shit and would fucking take chews right in front of us, like fucking weird old dudes.
Yeah.
But for 1 week, they were like, "I'm sick of all the cussing going on this team. So if you cuss, we're going to have to sprint." And then
What?
our quarterback was under center, and the center stepped on his foot, which hurts like a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And our quarterback goes, "God fucking damn it." And then our defensive coordinator goes, "What'd you just say?" And he looks at him, he goes, "God fucking damn it." He's like, "You guys are running." And then we had to run. It was insane. It taught us life lessons. I don't know what they are, but
No, none.
it
Yeah.
taught us life.
Nothing of value.
God, dude.
Yeah. There was one time I just it was on a kickoff. Again, a fucking JV game. I was on a kickoff and I had a good line down and I fucking cracked the kid with the ball to the point where everyone was like, "Oh," and I like got up and I was like, "Ah, yeah." And like no one said anything. It was all cool. Everyone's like, "Yeah, good play," and this and that. And then it was like 3 days later, we're like getting done. It's like the end of practice, and all of a sudden they're like, "Ruff, bear crawls." And I was like, "What?" And they're like, for when you celebrate with that hit. And I was like, I had to like remember. I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And they're like, the one coach was a fucking piece of shit. He was like, "You know what you did?" And I was like, "What the?" And so I just had to do 200 yards of bear crawls
For no reason.
for no reason. I was so fucking
Because
pissed.
these guys had tough childhoods.
Yeah,
That's why.
because they like to abuse children. I've heard it's the other way around, though. I've heard the rumors now, like, our high school is, like, all the parents are such helicopter parents now that they, like, will, like, kids' dads will, like, go to football practice and, like, watch. And if the coaches do anything that, like, pisses them off, then they'll, like, make a scene about it.
Yeah, they'll tweet about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll
They're
write
like,
something.
that was excessive, and you're being mean to the boys. And it's
Yeah.
like, what?
Just to feel important.
Yeah. So
Everyone-
I don't know what's worse, having little bitch-ass parents trying to, like, interject in practice, or just having the old school way where you just get screamed at and told you're a piece of shit like it's a military barracks.
I feel like there should be a happy medium.
There probably
somewhere.
should be a happy
Dude,
medium.
the pendulum swinging both ways.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can find a good middle ground
Yeah,
where coaches actually coach.
right.
And
Actually, like,
parents-
give life lessons,
Yeah.
make you better at sports.
And then parents let their kids live.
Yeah,
That could be
that could be a good medium.
that could sound like Utopia.
Yeah,
It does sound like Utopia,
it's impossible.
which is a good cartoon. All right, we used to smoke cigarettes, right?
Yes.
I wasn't a big cigarette smoker, but I dabbled. I had a few cigs every now and
I
then.
was a pretty big smoker.
When I first met you, you were a good smoker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, once you quit smoking, you realize how bad you smelled all the fucking time.
Yeah. And just how terrible it is and how
Yeah.
shit your lung capacity
Yes.
is.
Oh, terrible.
And just how your quality of life is
Everything is worse.
in the dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
But
back in the day when you smoked cigarettes,
mhm.
did you ever pop a cigarette behind the ear? Saved it for later?
Oh yeah.
You were a big cigarette behind the ear guy?
I wouldn't say a big one, but
hate
I
that
did it.
look. Can't stand the look. I don't
Yeah.
like it at all.
No.
I hate, like, if I'm sitting at a bar and I see a guy sitting there with a cigarette behind his ear, hate his guts.
Just instantly you're like, I don't like you.
Just put it in the carton. I get it if, like, you're bumming a cig from someone and you
And
don't
you-
want to crush it in your pockets.
Yeah.
So you
That's
put
like
it-
the only time you would do it.
I feel like there's got to be a better way than putting it on your head.
Well, the better way, Matt, is to just vape like an adult.
Yeah. Like a cool person.
Like a cool adult man now
Vape
who has a
inside.
cherry vanilla ice vape.
Outside
USA.
at your parents' house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vape everywhere.
That was when, because I was on the vape for a minute. That was the problem, is that you could just do it inside.
Oh, yeah. You can vape in church now, dude.
Yeah, and you just hammer on that
I
thing.
think they rewrote the Bible to be like, and thou shalt vape in church.
Yes. And the vape is for the Lord. I just remember there was this one chick I was banging, and
There was a female you were having intercourse with,
yes,
to put it lightly.
to put it lightly. And we were both vapors, and we would just like sit in bed and like watch a movie and just hammer on the fucking vape, just hammer on it
Just in bed.
all night in bed,
Yeah.
vaping in bed,
Waking up at 3 a.m. and just reaching for your vape.
and just
One hand reaches for the vape, the other one reaches for your phone, and you just fucking,
just
just
yes,
fucking non-reality. Just take me away from this planet.
yep. That's what life is now.
It is. It's the best.
Phones and vapes and phones.
Just hammering on the vape.
Dude,
and-
I remember waking up the next day and be like, "Why do my lungs hurt so bad?" Oh, so yeah, because I had 2,000 hits of a vape last night.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, back when juuling was cool though, the Juul was the big one.
That was
looks
like
like
the
the-
OG one.
The little USB.
Mhm.
I ripped that for a good summer when I was in Yellowstone.
Did you?
Oh, just looking at the most beautiful landscape in the world and popping a fucking mango pod in, dude. You know it's gonna rip so hard. Looking at a river crevasse through a valley, dude.
And you're like, man, the only thing that can make this more beautiful is mango flavored smoke in my
Shit.
lungs.
And then you hear the crackles, dude. And you know everything's gonna be
Oh,
okay.
The crackles, yeah, dude.
The crackles from the Juul
crackles,
pod.
Yep. Oh yeah, I've messed with some Juuls.
Oh yeah.
I think I might still have some like old vapes like in my room somewhere that I just
Yeah.
need to throw away.
Nah, you need to smoke them.
Yeah, smoke them.
You need to smoke those vapes.
Well, back then, like it was when the vapes first hit, like each vape had its own kind of charger that you would have to buy for it,
Yeah.
and so I'd like run out of one, and I'd go somewhere, and they'd be like, "Well, I got to buy this one," and they don't have the one I normally smoke, so then I have this whole second charger and like all this shit,
Yeah.
and then those started just accumulating. I had like 4 different vape chargers.
Yeah, it's
So fucking stupid.
It's just the reality of your life.
Yeah.
Like where did I go wrong?
Where did I go wrong?
I thought of a good invention though. Speaking of vapes, it's a butt plug,
Okay.
but it's also a vape. And so you just throw it up your ass, and it vibrates and stuff, and it's cool, and it feels
Occasionally you
awesome.
just fart out smoke.
Yeah, and you can, if you train your body, you can hit it through your butt. But if not, you always got your vape on you.
That's true.
So you pop it out, take a fat rip,
Pop it back in.
Pop it right back
right back in the old prison wallet.
Throw it on whatever vibrate setting. It'll have multiple
I would hope
vibration settings.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a butt plug vape, and I thought it was a pretty good idea.
I think that's a great idea.
Thought of it at work the other day.
We should go to Shark Tank with that one, dude.
Butt plug vapes? Mark Cuban? You
Mark
idiot.
Cuban. Huh, Mr. Wonderful?
So we all like vaping, and we all love butt plugs.
Right.
Put those two together.
Now picture this.
Yeah, and it's just ass to mouth, dude,
Yeah.
all day long.
And that's if you were someone that you love and you're intimate with,
Yeah.
you could just hit each other's butt vapes right out of the butt.
Yeah. If you
Mhm.
guys are both cool with it, if both parties are consenting.
Right. Consenting
And you're like,
adults, and you're
you're-
into ass play already, and you're into vaping.
Yeah. And you say you're allowed to hit my butt vape out of my butt,
Mm-hmm. And that's what love is.
and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get married under the moonlight. And butt vapes.
Just that's gonna be the new. I mean, like you may now kiss the bride. They'll just hit each other's vapes and you just,
Yeah.
like do the arms around and you
Yeah.
hit each other's
Like a
vapes.
fancy, and everyone in the fucking audience. Because
Blow
that's all.
smoke.
Yeah, it's an audience when you're
It's
at a
an
wedding.
audience, yeah.
It's not your friends and family.
No, you're putting on a show.
You're putting on a show.
Mhm.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me and
Look
my
at our
vape.
love. Look how happy
Yeah.
we are in our
That's
vapes.
crazy. What a weird world we live in, dude.
Right.
Weddings are weird.
Weddings are weird.
Weddings are weird, dude. It's
I
a
love
weird
weddings,
thing.
though. I love them. They're the best.
I think they're going out. I
You think
they're
weddings are going out of style?
dude. The more of like my friends are like, yeah, no, we just got married at the courthouse, and like, rather than spending 20 grand on our wedding,
Right.
we're just gonna go to Egypt and see if we can deconstruct the pyramids to
Right.
see what's really fucking going on with the CIA,
Right. With the
and which is a
aliens.
better use of your money than getting your loved ones together.
It's true.
But then the other side of the pendulum is like, well, there's only certain moments in life where you'll get all your loved ones together, and your wedding's one of those days.
Right.
And to those people, I say, shut up,
Shut up.
hit your vape, get
your
on your
family
phone.
doesn't fucking like you. Hit your vape and talk to your phone.
Yeah, talk to your phone. You can call all your family members on your phone all the time. You never need to see them again.
No. And if you want to see them, just FaceTime them.
Yep. Brought to you by FaceTime.
Brought to you by your phones. They're taking over.
Yeah, no, I think weddings are going out of style.
Well, it's just because everyone's poor.
Yeah.
Weddings are expensive. And it's kind of like, well, you don't have to do it.
No.
And you could save that $20,000 you were referring to. So,
And just pay a few more months of rent
yeah.
is what you can do in this fucking economy we live in,
You can
dude.
buy more vapes.
It's insane. You watched an Ocean Gate documentary, bro, this morning, which was weird to me. Because you were hammered last night,
I was.
as they already know.
Yes, as we established.
The last time I saw you last night, I was like, he's fucking hammered.
I was hammered.
And then I got up pretty early this morning to go to yoga, as we discussed earlier.
Right.
And you were already awake,
Yeah.
which blew my mind.
Yep.
But not only were you awake, you were watching an Ocean Gate documentary
Yeah.
at 7:30 a.m.
Which I was half paying attention to
Yeah.
because I was half in the bag still.
But you were up
Yep.
on the couch. I was so surprised to see you.
Yeah, I didn't. I just like woke up at like 6:30 and couldn't fall
That's
back asleep.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Was it too hot in here or something?
I don't know. I don't know what it was.
What did you learn on the Ocean Gate documentary that we
Oh.
didn't already know?
Well, I didn't realize that there was a kid in that thing that imploded. So we're referring to that submarine story about the submarine that imploded and took over the whole internet a couple
Yeah.
of years ago, which is kind of weird that it did. I heard there was like shady shit going on in like Ukraine, and they're like, "Oh, anyways, look at the submarine. Isn't that crazy? No one's paying attention."
Oh,
to
yes, it is a diversion
Yeah.
for sure. Always is.
But yeah, I didn't realize there's 5 people in there. One of them was like a 16-year-old kid, dude.
Yeah, that's no good.
No good.
Yeah.
But basically, the whole documentary, from what I paid attention to, was this guy who started that company. He really wanted to be an astronaut, but apparently he like wasn't smart enough, and so he was like, "Well, the ocean's the last frontier, really," and so he made this submarine, and his idea was to take people to see the Titanic because that's how you make money, right? But he basically, essentially, what they kept hammering home is that the guy didn't really like test it for safety very well.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah.
Knowing what we
you would have
know
never
now.
guessed. Yeah. Like they would go down in it. Like this one guy was like talking about
It's
it.
like the number one thing that you should test for.
Right. Like it had been on like 80 different dives, but they had only actually gone to the depth the Titanic is at like 3 times. And like very briefly. And so And so they went down that far, and the thing crumbled and imploded.
Yeah.
Because it was like, and the one guy was telling a story that he was like with them when they were testing it the one time. And it was made out of like this weird carbon fiber material, which I guess is kind of different than other submarines and shit. And yeah, like I was saying, that like you were like going down, and this thing would just start making noises. It'd be like,
Oh
like
my god.
the one guy said it was like a gunshot went off. Like you're like going down, so it's just like bang,
Oh my god.
and then like everyone gets quiet.
Take it back up.
Yeah,
Take it the fuck back up,
yeah,
dude. Oh
and,
my god.
And then on that same one, they're like, oh yeah, we're kind of lost our thrusters to return to the surface, so that might be a problem.
That's a huge problem.
It's a huge problem.
That's the biggest problem we can have other than this thing imploding on us.
Yes.
The second biggest problem is not being able to get back up there.
Right. Those are the two big problems.
Huge problems.
Third problem, run out of oxygen.
Oh my
But-
god.
There's three big problems.
Ooh, would you rather run out of oxygen or have the thing crumble on you?
Oh, man. Probably crumble, just because it'd be like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You're just gone.
The old stepping on the ant routine,
Yeah.
commissioner.
Exactly, commissioner.
Dark Knight, drink.
Yep, drink. Yeah, I don't know, man. The running out of air. I heard a crazy story. I don't know, this is kind of dark and it's kind of a separate tangent.
You know what we call that?
What?
Morbid.
Morbid.
Yeah, go for
Here's
it.
a morbid story.
This is gonna be a morbid story, so if you don't like morbid shit,
Yeah.
just put it on mute, and I'll shake my tits
Hey.
and give you something to look at.
There you go.
Well,
Keep
it's on
shaking.
mute.
I heard a story. So when I was in Belize, we went on a cave float tour thing. Like we were just like going down a river in a cave. It was pretty cool. But one of the people I was with
Were you
just
floating on a river through caves?
yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, that's
okay.
pretty cool.
That was a weird sentence.
yeah, doesn't happen very often.
No. Okay.
Yeah,
Keep
pretty
going.
sweet. But someone on the group, I can't remember who said it, friend of the show, and they just casually dropped like, "Oh yeah, I was in high school, and a bunch of my like kids in our high school I knew like went to go party in a cave and they all died." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, they had a bonfire in a cave.
Oh, dude.
And it's just stupid high schoolers. They were probably
Carbon
just drinking
monoxide
and
poisoning?
shit. Yeah." So they just started a bonfire in a cave thinking it would be cool, and the bonfire burnt up all the air, and they all died.
Yeah.
Like 5 or 6 of them.
They all passed out.
yeah,
and
they just
never
passed
woke
out
up.
and died, yeah.
That sounds like a Final Destination.
I mean, that's what it is really stupid. That's a bunch of kids who didn't pay attention in chemistry class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to, I don't know.
Yeah. Ugh. Anyways, that story blew my mind. I was like, dude, fuck.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Believe it or not, they died in a cave. Oh, man.
What do you
Any
think
of-
about jean jackets, dude?
What do I think about jean jackets?
You into them? You not into them?
Not into them.
I don't give a fuck about fashion at all, so I don't know why I brought that question up.
You know, I was with someone yesterday who was wearing like a full Canadian tuxedo.
Jean jacket, jean pants.
Yeah. And I was kind of like, what are you doing? Like,
It's
is this in? Is this in right now?
I think it's in. 'Cause
with
I
the
see a lot
youths?
of jean jackets. A lot of women are wearing jean jackets around our town these days.
Huh.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know,
I don't
because
know.
they're not, like, they don't keep you warm, really.
Not
and-
really. They're also, they're too warm for like a warm day.
Yeah, they're
but
not.
like they're not warm enough for a cold day. They kind of suck.
They don't look that. I don't. Again, I don't give a shit about fashion, so I don't know why.
Right.
Who cares about fashion? That's insane. Are
Yeah.
we done with it? Like,
I've never like thought about fashion at all in my life.
no, I would prefer to wear the same thing every day.
Yeah, like
Peter
Homer
Griffin.
Simpson. Yeah.
yeah, I love those cartoons. I would, just prefer we all wear the same thing.
Yeah.
I think someone did a bit about it. Like, the first thing to go with aliens is, like, clothes. Because they're like, oh, it's very stupid.
Yeah. What are you doing?
But, like, 80% of the shops in any town are clothing shops.
Yeah.
And 80% of the people, or the shit that people order online is clothes.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of important.
Is it?
I mean, you got to be protected from the elements, sir. We have these supple.
You need, like, 5 changes of clothes then.
Yeah.
You need warm clothes, cold clothes, medium clothes. You need 3 changes of
Three
clothes.
yeah. You need one for each season,
Yeah.
which I guess maybe jean jacket fall. I'm thinking fall.
If there's less clothes, I get that we do need to wear clothes because you don't want to see naked people all the time, which
Yeah.
I think eventually we will overcome that. Like, it won't matter to us.
Well, once
we
Ozempic
ev-
gets rid of all the fatties, then no.
yeah, once we evolve,
Yeah.
like, we're not going to give a shit about clothes, and I think that's the next step. But like you're wasting a lot of water washing fucking clothes all the time.
That's true.
You're wasting a lot of time and energy and resources
That's
ordering clothes all the time.
Yep.
And then returning clothes all the time. All the time. Every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day people are returning clothes and ordering clothes
true.
all the time. I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah, and they keep making more of it.
Yeah.
And then like sooner or later the thrift stores, like the Goodwills, are just going to be like so full of clothes.
It's just going to be Amazon facilities.
Yeah, of clothes.
It's just like everything's going to be Amazon.
Yeah.
Clothes. I don't get it. I don't give a shit about fashion. Can't possibly care about it.
I think it's funny because I find myself judging other people for what they're wearing.
Yeah.
And simultaneously, I don't put any thought into what I'm wearing.
No, you're wearing like a stained white T-shirt.
Yeah. I'm like, look at this hobo in a
like
jean
Kenny
jacket.
Chesney. You're like, I can't believe this idiot's wearing that. What a stupid outfit.
Yeah, what a dumbass. Look how
Hate his
stupid you
guts.
look. So yeah, but no, the jean jacket, I had to wear one for cabaret because I was Marty McFly.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that Marty McFly wore a jean jacket and a vest and a shirt on under the jean jacket.
Yeah.
So I was sweating my ass off the whole time.
Yeah.
I was like, why was Marty McFly so fucking cold in this movie? He was wearing two shirts and a vest over top of that.
That was the fashion.
That was
back
the fashion.
Then. Again, in about 20 years, fashion's gonna be gone. Obsolete. Absolutely obsolete, dude. I swear to God. I have a little segment, dude.
Oh, you got a segment for us?
I did. I just thought of it. I didn't just think of it. I've been thinking about it my entire life. It's led me to this moment, actually.
All right.
Mm-hmm. This is called Unanswered Philosophical Questions.
Matt Newland's Unanswered Philosophical Questions.
And I think these are philosophical questions that are unanswered. And I
Okay.
think it's kind of up to me and you
to
put
them.
these to rest.
Right. That's
Give
what
the
we're here
people-
for, give the people the advice they need.
Give
to
the
live.
people what they want. And people have been asking these questions. You might be familiar with them because you've heard them probably.
Right.
But we're here to answer them. So the one rule is you can't say I don't know.
Okay.
Okay? You
All right.
have to give an answer.
Well, I know a lot. So
yeah.
not
So
to
you
brag.
cannot say I don't know. Which is going to make it tough.
All right.
All right, you ready?
Sure.
I got 5 of these.
All right, lay it on me.
Does language shape our thoughts, or do our thoughts shape our language?
Does language shape our thoughts, or do thoughts shape our language? It's very chicken or the egg here. Because, we had thoughts before we had language.
But what were those thoughts?
I don't know. You can't really describe them. Fuck, I said it. I said I don't know.
Yeah.
I lost
That's
the game.
the one rule, dude. That's the only rule we have.
I
We're
would
here for answers.
Well, you would.
I believe that where you were going.
Yes.
Like, thoughts
'cause
existed.
First, we were even when we were little, fucking
termites.
We were little protozoas in the sea. We were still thinking about stuff, kind of.
I go back to like cavemen.
Yeah.
It's like cavemen didn't have language.
They
But
were
I'm
like,
sure
"Ugh."
they had the thought that was like, that fire is hot. They just didn't think that fire is hot.
Right.
They just felt.
They're just like, ugh!
And we're like, don't touch that.
Right.
But again, they didn't think that.
No. They were thinking like, unga bunga hot. You know? Unga bunga hot.
But we think in language,
Right.
which is fucking bizarre.
Yeah? It's just so ingrained.
Yeah.
I heard that said something that's like you can never unlearn how to read.
Unless you get a good dock in the head, dude.
Yeah, unless you get bonked up.
Yeah.
Unless you get a hard bonking.
Unless you get a hard bonk.
But like say for example, right now you get stranded at a desert island for 30 years.
Yeah.
Right? And you're there, you don't see words anywhere. You don't have a book or anything with you. You don't see anything. All you see is trees and coconuts and maybe a beach ball named Wilson.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there's writing on that. So you don't even have Wilson.
Damn it, dude.
Yeah, you're all alone.
Wilson, no.
But like if you come back to society 30 years later and I like show you a word, you read it. instantly.
Really?
Yeah, you can never
That makes
unlearn how
sense.
to read. Pretty crazy.
Can you unlearn how to love, buddy? That's really what I'm looking for.
I'm trying.
So we came to the conclusion that
Thoughts first.
thoughts shape language.
All right. Philosophical question number 1. Done.
Thoughts shape language. Philosophical question number 2. Can machines attain consciousness?
No.
Okay. But
Well,
but why?
but why? Because they don't have a soul.
Okay, so in order to be conscious, you have to have a soul.
You have to have a soul.
So are trees conscious? I think trees are conscious. Have you ever taken a gram and a half of mushrooms and seen trees breathe?
And talk to a tree?
And seen them breathe?
Well, just because it can breathe doesn't mean it's conscious.
They do this?
Like, is a jellyfish conscious?
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 We're getting deep, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I knew when I was doing this, I was like, we're going to get fucking
You
deep.
get deep as shit.
Well, no machine has become conscious yet.
That we know of.
That I don't think so.
Except for those sex robots they're working on in China.
That's another story, buddy.
Okay.
'Cause once you make love to me, your consciousness is going to go to a different place, dude. Mainly a place of, I don't really want to talk to this guy anymore.
Yeah, I'm really busy right now.
Getting rejected by a sex robot, dude.
Getting friend zoned by a sex robot.
I'm just not open to being in a relationship.
I'm just not trying to see anyone right now.
I'm just working on my mainframe.
Yes. I have lots of parts in myself that need working and examining.
And I've been doing a lot of work on myself, my robot, recently.
Yes.
That'd suck to get rejected by a robot.
That would suck hard.
Yeah.
Okay, it'll happen sooner or later.
For sure.
I mean, when getting rejected by everything else, sooner or later, it's going to spill over.
We got the Ex Machina poster right there in the studio.
Oh, yeah. In the studio, Ex Machina, one of my favorite movies.
So I think that could happen. It hasn't yet.
If it does happen, I hope it's as
land on-
hot as that chick was as that robot in that movie.
Well, that's a real lady.
I would have banged that robot.
Well, it's just a real actress
What?
lady. Yeah. She's
No, I saw her take her arm off, dude.
Yeah, but that's movies.
What?
They do that in movies.
No.
So we're going no. We're saying no on this one.
Fuck those robots.
Can machines attain consciousness? No.
Hard no.
'Kay.
And if they do, call me.
Or beat me if you want to reach me. Could multiple universes exist without intersecting? So this is the multiverse one.
The multiverse
Parallel
one.
universes.
Yes.
So they can exist without crossing paths.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people consider like deja vu
Right.
shit that's happened in a different universe, which is why it feels so familiar to you.
Oh.
It happened to you in a different universe, and that's why you're going like, this is fucking... So that could be universes intersecting.
I've never heard that before.
That'll blow your fucking mind, right?
Well, I mean, I get from a mathematical standpoint, and this is me talking way out of my ass, how essentially the universe, if you go by the Big Bang Theory, is always expanding. So it all started at one spot and exploded.
The size of a nut, dude.
Size of a nut.
Size of a human man nut.
A human man's testicle.
Yeah. Just to give them a description.
Right. Just for a point of reference. One human man's nuts. One man's nuts. But say that thing had exploded, so everything is moving away from this one central point.
Yeah.
Right? So they wouldn't intersect physically because they're all moving away from each other, right?
Yeah.
But say if that thing is symmetrical, whatever that is, then however it exploded.
Like two nuts.
Like two nuts.
Symmetrical
it's like
nuts.
Two symmetrical nuts. Even though people say one nut's bigger, it actually is just lower.
Yeah.
Fun fact. But if say you have like a golf ball, right? Well,
Nuts.
those dimples are symmetrical on either side, so whatever comes out in that and is going in that direction would look exactly the same like what was going in the other direction.
The parallel universes.
The parallel universes.
Yeah.
And it could be an infinite amount of those.
I think so.
I think so.
Why not?
Why not?
So yes, multiple universes can exist without intersecting.
Yes, and you got that from PhD physicist Kyle Ruff.
Kyle McRufferton.
Yes. Marty McSteamboat.
Dr. McSteamboat. I like that. I like the parallel universe. That could be fun.
Could be
And
fun.
The deja vu thing it's very okay. This one is another question I have for you.
Okay.
What is the purpose of life if death is inevitable? So, before you answer, a lot of people think because we're going to die,
Yeah.
life is meaningless. Who gives a shit? We're going to die.
Right.
But a lot of people think the exact opposite way. Because we're going to die, that gives our life meaning.
Right.
Who's right?
Oh, well, you
Or
know.
what is the purpose of life?
Well, the purpose of life is two things. Vaping and checking your cell phone.
Always.
That's it.
That's the new purpose of life.
Yes.
Socrates could never know.
If you lived forever, right, and vaping didn't give you lung cancer, then it wouldn't be as fun.
Yeah.
You don't get the rush, you know?
So the purpose of life is vaping, checking your cell phones, and trying to live forever.
Trying to live forever and trying to, like, bork.
Yeah. That's really what it all comes down to.
It's really come down to borking.
Dude, it just comes down to, like, the thoughts. Like, cavemen didn't have thoughts, but they were like sex.
Yeah, but they're like, they
didn't have that
but
word.
my dick got hard. And
Yeah.
what's she doing over there?
I think the meaning of life, knowing that we're going to die, just be a silly bitch.
Just be a silly bitch.
The silliest of bitches
Of
you can
course.
be. I don't think it matters.
No. But if you're not a silly bitch, then fucking, what are you doing?
A lot of people take life as an opportunity to make their life matter by implementing something onto Earth that'll last
Like rafting.
way after they're gone.
Yeah.
Like the guy who invented rafting and doing little mullets and hand tattoos. Like that guy that invented that.
Yeah.
That miserable,
A miserable guy.
unbearable guy. But to give your life meaning, you have to do something that's going to last way longer than
Leave your mark.
Physical body will
Right.
last. And I think I don't think that's good. I don't think it is anymore because it gives an impression of self-importance that a lot of people living in these days have.
Right.
Like, we're the most self-important generation of all time. Thanks to social media.
Thanks to social media.
We've
Because everything is recorded.
Truly are obsessed with ourselves.
Yes.
And obsessed with other people.
Right.
And there's no meaning in that. I don't know where I'm going with it.
Getting deep, bro.
I know, right?
Getting
I knew
deep.
we were going to get deep. I was like, all right, let's fucking do it. Yeah, there's meaning. Just be a silly bitch and stop posting shit on the fucking internet,
Yeah,
even though
right.
we're doing that right now
That's
as we're
right,
speaking.
exactly what we're doing. So everyone listen to us. Also, follow us on TikTok. That'd be great.
And, comment on our shit while you're checking your phone and vaping.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a good one. This is kind of fucking rebounds off what we were just talking about.
All right.
How do we define self in a constantly changing life?
How do you define self in a constantly changing life?
So
Changing how?
Human beings are constantly changing.
Okay.
Blood's constantly flowing. Cells are constantly generating.
True.
We're like, tomorrow, you're not the same as you were today. You could get kicked in the nuts today. Your balls are going to hurt tomorrow.
True.
Today, your balls
But I'm
didn't
still
hurt.
me.
You're still...
I'm still a silly bitch.
But what makes you, you?
Probably just my love for rafting and vaping. Yeah, it's the friends you find along the way, man.
It's the memories.
It's the memories.
Are what makes you think who you
Right.
are. You remember the shit that has happened to you.
Right, and you're like, all right, I did that.
That's me.
That's me.
Right now.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm constantly changing.
Even though, yes.
This is what, like, to bring it back to women and trying to have sex.
Right.
Like, this fucks me up, like, going on dates and shit. Because when you're going on a date, you're like, who is this person?
Right.
Who do they see themselves as?
Right.
And do I want to connect with them?
Right.
But in order to know who they are,
I have to know myself.
they have to know who they are.
True.
And who's to say they know who the fuck they are? Who's to say I know who the fuck I am? And then this is usually why I don't get second dates.
By the way, I'm single.
But it is. It's like, this is a fucked up one for dating because that's what you're doing. You're like,
That's
who
true.
is this person? Do I want to connect with them?
It's a
And
strange
it's like,
dance.
who am I?
Right.
I'm constantly changing. I'm gonna be different tomorrow.
And if there's someone that like you're going out with and you're like, actually, I don't want to go out with this one person. And it's like, well, why am I so fucking great? You know what I mean? Like, in my mind, I'm too good for you, or I've a better option than you.
And the rejection I'm throwing at this person is gonna change them.
Right.
Maybe into a person that I like.
Maybe.
And that I do want to connect with.
Please come back. I made a mistake. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we really define ourselves. It's all ego.
It's all ego.
Like,
Ego is the enemy.
thinking about the self.
Mm-hmm.
We're all fucking dick skins on
Yeah.
the lambs of tuna fish, dude. You know what I mean?
So thanks for tuning into the Steamboat Comedy Podcast.
I still got sentences. We're not done.
Oh, we got some
I
sentences?
still got sentences,
All
you
right.
motherfucker. We're ending
Yeah.
on a high note. All right.
It's time for Matt Newland's sentences that have never been said before.
Sentence number 1. After watching Mission Impossible 3, I decided it was time to stop cheating on my wife. Because it's a great movie about love.
It is a great movie about love.
That movie is more about love than any of the other Mission Impossibles.
It is.
The through line with his wife in the third Mission Impossible, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
So good.
It's a good.
The third one's the best one.
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah. It's hard to argue that. The second one's the worst
Second one sucks all the
Third
dicks.
one, just because Philip Seymour Hoffman is
so
so intense.
I'm going to hurt her.
I'm going to hurt her real bad.
Hurt her real bad. Yeah.
Your little blonde friend, I killed her.
I killed her.
That was fun.
Now I'm going to kill you.
That was fun for me. He's so good in that.
So good.
All right, sentence number 2.
Sentence number 2.
The other day I saw a homeless guy buying a houseplant. He looked like a young Tobey Maguire. Levels, bro.
I mean, there's some handsome Spider-Man homeless guys out there, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably not buying house plants, though.
Homeless
Especially
guys
when you
buying
don't have a house.
Yeah.
You're unhoused with a house plant. Does that just make it a plant?
That's a mean trick on the plant, buddy.
Right? Yeah.
That plant's like, I'm conscious, and I'm
Yeah.
finally getting a home.
Yeah, finally. It's like a barn owl without a barn,
Yep.
you know?
Just an owl.
Just an owl.
Just an owl eating rats.
Aren't we all just owls eating rats?
Okay. Sentence number 3.
Sentence number 3.
Technically, all dogs are service dogs if they give themselves over to Jesus.
All the dogs go to heaven.
That might be a one-liner. I'm going to throw that in my act.
Yeah, that's just pretty funny.
That's not bad, right?
I think,
I'll try it on stage.
why not? Fuck it.
That could be a one-liner.
It's pretty good.
No.
If you're in service to JC,
You're always a service
then
dog.
you're always a service dog.
Put a star next to that one. Save that for later. That's all I got, dude. You got anything else?
No, I think we've done enough fucking stupid things today.
Yeah.
I need to go be sober. That's the goal for today.
You're doing a great job so
I'm
far.
fucking trying.
Hanging on by a thread.
Hanging on by a thread. I'm shaking. Looking at that whiskey bottle.
Shaking it, boss.
I'm shaking.
Shaking it.
Shaking real bad, boss.
Cool hand, Luke.
That's right. No, it was fun, buddy. All right, thanks for listening, everybody. We got shows coming soon. Stay tuned. I think by the time the next show, by next podcast, we'll have already done our next show. No, not quite. Yeah.
Yeah, we will.
There we? I'm looking at the schedule
We
here.
will have just had no, we won't.
Oh, yeah, it'll be right after, because this day is the 1st.
Friend of the show, Eric Cole, will be in town.
Hey, yeah,
Little
Eric Cole.
Idaho show, bro.
Yeah, dude, our first Idaho guest here.
2 Idaho guests, my good buddies. Eric
Excited.
Cole, Dustin Chalifo.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be fun.
It's going to be a blast.
Mm.
Might have a live podcast coming, too, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, thanks for listening, guys. We love you.
Love you. Be nice to everybody.
Be nice to everybody, unless they're a dick.
Rain or shine, it's here to make you laugh. It's the Steamboat Comedy Podcast. It's the Steamboat Comedy Podcast.